Dude, before we we'll talk about the Earth stuff and everything, and it being a fucking hexagon or whatever, or dildo, whatever. We'll talk about that in a second. Are you okay if I just tell you a personal story that just happened to me? It literally just happened to me, so I have to tell someone. Like, I have to make it. All right, and I'm gonna tell you the story. You can chime in at any time, and you let me know if I was in the right, wrong, or in between. So, I decided to take my bike out, and I rode that thing for like 2 hours. But at one point, around an hour and a half in, going down like a one-way road, as residential road as you can, houses left and right of the road, very small sidewalks, and I'm on the road. No, I'm sorry. I started on the sidewalk, then I went on the road, saw there was cars getting behind me, so I went back on the sidewalk, stopped at the stop sign. Guy in his car stops at the stop sign, and he's saying something towards me. So I move my left headphone away from my left ear and have it like rest on my head with my right headphone still playing. So I got fucking, talk radio shit going on in that ear. So I'm all flustered. And he's like, hey, you're not allowed to drive on the ride your bike on the sidewalk here. And I'm just like, what? He's like, you were riding your bike on the sidewalk. You're not allowed to do that. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I was in the road before. He's like, no. I saw you twice. You're on the sidewalk twice. So then I said to him, yeah, but even though I had my headphones, I didn't say this part, but even though I had my headphones on, I heard him speed up to so I put two and two together. This guy is I'll let you know, he's 65 years old. You can just tell he's 65 on the nose, Dave. This guy is fucking, his AARP plan is like in the 1% of the 1%. He loves his AARP plan. So this guy just wanted to tell someone what not to do today. So I knew he sped up to get to me. So I said, all right, well, were you speeding? Because you were just speeding. I heard you. So maybe you shouldn't be speeding on the road. And he's like, no, it's not about that. Right? Like it's just a back and forth between him and I. And then I did the classic line, which is it's like, this is the classic line to get any man's emotions from 0 to 100. I said, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, what are you going to do about it? And he's just like, he starts cursing, which is great. Cause now I know it's like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This is like Twitter. In my mind, this is Twitter in real life. So he starts cursing and everything. He then goes, I'm making a citizen's arrest. I swear to God, he said this to me. He gets out of his car and I had to make a logical decision here. Now, anyone that is the age of 18 and under will say, oh, well, you lost it there, buddy. You fuck. It's like, I drove across the street with my bike. I'm not fighting, no offense to you, I'm not fighting Dave at 65 years old, ex-lawyer Dave. And like, I'm going to break the guy's fucking hip. I'm not saying I could fight. Maybe he could either it's a lose-lose. Either I kill an old man or I get destroyed by an old man. So I went across the street. My man, you want to know what this guy does to me? While I'm across the street, he goes, oh yeah, a big tough guy. And he starts doing the chicken pose and going, bah, 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 bah. He starts doing the chicken pose and making the chicken noises. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way this is happening. And I then busted out my phone because I wanted to record him, and then he stopped doing the chicken pose. And I'm just like, oh, what happened? No more chicken dance as soon as I started recording. And that was it. We went on our separate ways. But that's the story. I don't know in your mind if I was like in the right, wrong, or in between, but it literally just happened. I'm not even kidding, an hour ago.
That's fun.
That's fun. Dude, I don't know. I can't believe that in real life that just
people
fucking
are
happened.
nuts, so fuck them.
That's it. People are nuts, so fuck them. Speaking of people being nuts, you do believe the Earth is flat, correct?
You do believe the Earth is a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum with water on the outside, and that we were created when nothing exploded?
I have no
the whack one here?
I have no idea. I don't know what to believe anymore. There's so much shit on the internet.
Good. That's a good answer.
There's so much stuff on, dude. I didn't even know I wasn't allowed to drive on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like 2 minutes before that encounter, I was having a great day, wind in my hair, listening to the radio, like, man, like just living my life. And then lo and behold, here's that guy to just tell you, you're not allowed to do this. It's like, can't I just be like free? You know what I mean, man?
Get it. I hear you.
But no, okay, so all right, I understand this is like and I want to talk about this too in the future, this episode, but it's definitely like a tired topic. People like this, the flat earth stuff was huge in what, like 2014, 2016 around?
Huge now. It's massive, growing by
Is it though?
leaps and bounds. Absolutely. Just because Google's censoring us and you don't see it, there's millions of us now, and it's growing faster and faster.
Okay, well then help me seriously, dude. Like, because I want to ask a bunch of questions, and I'm not here. I will be at one point to give my opinion or whatever. It's just my goddamn podcast. But like, yeah, tell me like so. I don't see it as much, and you're saying now Google, which is like the number 2 website in 2021, is censoring it. I don't know what TikTok's doing. Like, so how are you able to see it growing? Like, what am I missing? Because I don't see it growing at all. I see it as very like a dead topic the past 2-3 years.
Well, that's just because you're Googling things. I do many interviews a week, and in 2015, 16, 17. Most people are like, flat earth is dumb. Yeah, come on the show. We'll let's destroy you. And I would wake them up to flat earth. Now it's harder and harder to find anyone that thinks the earth is a spinning ball. There's so many people. You mentioned flat earth to somebody, instead of saying, oh my God, you're a moron, they go, yeah, I heard some stuff about that. I've got some questions. Or even just like you think it's dumb, but you're like, I don't know. You don't know. Well, saying I don't know that the earth is a globe is a great start. You're on your way to becoming a flat earther, whether you want to be or not. Once you understand how absolutely ridiculous the globe model is and how we've all been indoctrinated to believe the same things. Oh my God, ships over the horizon, seasons, sunsets, time zones. When you actually look into these things and use your God-given brain, you realize that these things actually prove the earth is flat and stationary. Large bodies of water at rest need a container. If you had a bathtub filled with water, the surface of that water is flat. If you snap my fingers and the tub disappeared, what happens to the water? It flows away, right? A pond or a lake has a container. That container is the land that surrounds the water, that's higher than the water. That is the container for the water, okay? If you don't believe me, go to the edge of the pond, dig a trench, and you'll watch the water will flow right beyond the container till it finds the next level. So our world is like a giant lake, a giant pond. All of the oceans have a container, and that container is Antarctica. What do I mean by that? Antarctica is not a continent at the bottom of a ball like they tell us. Antarctica is the shoreline that surrounds our world pond. We live in the Antarctic basin. Antarctica itself is probably bigger than all of the countries and all of the oceans combined. It is the shoreline that surrounds our world. They tell us Antarctica is the highest land on Earth, right? I always thought that was weird. Why is it? Maybe that's why it's on the bottom, because it's heavier, because it's higher. But Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It surrounds
the
our
bottom
world.
or the most
container.
the bottom or the most outside ridge of like the circle.
Well, it's the outer limits of our known world. What's beyond the shoreline of Antarctica? We don't know. It's off limits to everybody. The Antarctic Treaty went into effect in 1959, and you can't even question a treaty until the year 2041. No treaty in history has lasted that long. But meanwhile, all the countries are fighting for resources and land, and there's land in Antarctica that Admiral Byrd said in 1959, filled with resources that no human has ever set eyes upon. Well, gee, that sounds ripe for the taking. So instead of going and pillaging this land, they make a treaty that no one's even allowed to go there and look at it. No one's even allowed to question this treaty. That's questionable right there.
Now, you said in the beginning of this, the things you were just saying that, I don't know if you were pointing out to me that I was saying that flat Earth is dumb, because I didn't say that at all yet. Talking to you.
No.
Oh,
what
okay. I didn't know if you were making an example or you were like saying I was saying it was dumb.
Most people say that. Most people that think we live on a globe think flat Earth is dumb. I was one of those people. I'm not singling you out, but at the beginning you said you're not sure. You don't know. Well, that's a start. You're already questioning the globe. That's good for you.
I just don't. You know what it is, man? And like, tell me what your thoughts on this. I kind of just don't care. Does that make? Well, I mean, I care enough, obviously, because I want to talk to you, and you seem interesting on the topic. But like, I don't know what it's I
What
don't.
difference does it make? Why does the shape of the earth matter? I still have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, you get it. You get it, right? Yeah.
Well, I get it because I said the same thing. But then when you actually find out the importance of it, it's not the shape that matters. It's the lie that matters. They're hiding who you are. They're hiding where you are. They're hiding the true power that we really have. They're hiding the creation of this earth. They're hiding the fact that our thoughts create our reality. They're hiding more land. They're hiding unlimited resources. They're hiding our true divinity. They're hiding our ability to thrive. They're hiding the fact that nobody has control over you other than in your imagination. They have you lost in space, spinning out of control, so you'll do anything that they say. And the thing is, most of the reason people have to work, they have to work for a couple things: food, shelter, and energy, gas, electricity, whatever. When all of those things are God given and free, there's no need to have to work for them when you can suck free energy out of the air. They don't want us to know that free energy is abundant. That a meter off the ground is 100 volts. 2 meters off the ground is 200 volts, and as you go up, the power gets more and more. There used to be free energy machines with balloons just holding wires in the air.
Wait, hold on, because you're saying a lot. And I'm interested in a lot of this. So, all right, how are you able to? You jump up in the air and you get like, how are you able to harness that energy? What are you talking about?
So there's free energy in the world. If you string a wire up high into a tree or on a pole or between two poles, and then connect the conductor to it, there's voltage in there. You can run a radio by it without a battery. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that they're pulling energy out of the ether. They're not using nuclear power plants are turning pistons by boiling water. That's not nuclear power. Okay. Most of the energy that they get is being harvested out of the ether. The high transmission power lines that zigzag across the country, some of them loop around back to themselves. They're not transmitting power. They're harvesting energy straight out of the air.
Wow, that's fucking. I didn't know. I didn't know if I jumped up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I got some volts.
You didn't know. Well, the reason when you jump up, the reason you go down is because the Earth has a negative charge. The sky has a positive charge, and when anything leaves the Earth, it's now surrounded by that positive charge, and the negative charge of the non-moving Earth attracts it. It's a weak force, but it says, "Hey, down is this way."
Dave, you're talking shot, my man. Shit, I wish I was smart enough to understand. Can you dumb it down just a little bit more, and I might be able to understand this?
Well, there's no such thing as gravity. They haven't changed the story of gravity. Gravity used to be mass attracting mass. Now it's the bending of space-time. And don't feel bad if you don't understand that, because it's nonsense. There's nothing to understand. It's all bullshit.
Okay.
Okay. The Earth itself has a measurable negative charge. You can measure it. Stick a fucking probe into the Earth. It's got a negative charge.
Okay. Okay, and then what has the positive charge opposite of the Earth?
Everything above the Earth has a positive charge. The atmosphere and...
So do you believe in the whole glass dome thing, or no? There's no dome?
I believe there is a dome above us. I don't know what it's made of. I haven't been there.
What about outside the dome? Does that also have... Or does the dome itself give the positive charge? Like what...
I don't know. I believe that space is water. That there's water above us and water below us.
Why?
Read the first page of the Bible. Not that I'm a Bible guy, but it said God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament. That's the story of creation. Well, all the evidence that we look at does go to show that there is some sort of firmament. And when you think about space, think about NASA. They use all nautical terms. The Sea of Tranquility, docking, ships. Everything they talk about is nautical terms. And if you watch any of their rocket launches, all of them, they all go up and they go out. And they go away and they skim across the dome. The highest anyone's ever gotten, I believe, is 73 miles, where the Go Fast rocket went straight up, which is a amateur rocket shot up in Arizona. And at 73 miles, it hit something. It went kerplunk and into a thicker medium, more like a plasma. And then it floated weirdly for a little bit. Saw a few things. But that seems to be the highest that we can get is about 73 miles.
So basically, the water outside of maybe not. So when how about this? When you say dome, because when I'm thinking dome, I'm picturing like a fucking snow globe. You know what I mean? But you're saying, okay, yes, like it's a literally legitimately like glass or plastic dome.
some people say, there's biblical accounts saying that it's a glass, if you read biblical stuff, but if you're not a Bible person, then that's meaningless. Some people believe it's energetic. Some people believe it's frozen oxygen. There's some research that comes out of Antarctica of sky ice, and it's special ice that they are literally pulling out of the wall where they believe that it's the dome terminating down to the mountains, and it's this blue ice that doesn't melt. It's so freaking cold that they can't transport it out of Antarctica because they don't have anything to keep it cold enough, and it doesn't melt; it evaporates. It just shrinks and evaporates, and it's sky blue. Interesting.
It's pretty fun. I didn't know about that. That is interesting. What's it called again? I'm going to look it up.
Sky ice.
Sky? Okay, sky ice. You know what I always...
You're not going to find any of this. The problem is, as you said, you felt Flat Earth is dying because YouTube used to have a hit counter. When you search, it says, there's 64,927 results. And we were watching the Flat Earth in 2015, 16, I think even 17.
Yeah, it seemed like it was booming that time, know?
When you search, it's just algorithms. When you search Flat Earth, it was beating Britney Spears. It was beating
as it should.
Justin Bieber.
As it should in 2017. It should.
Well, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it beat Donald Trump, which was the highest trending search term ever.
That time,
it beat that. And so you know what they did?
What?
They took down the scoreboard. When you Google search, it doesn't tell you how many results there are. When we hit number 1, they took down the scoreboard.
Now, did they give her? Now, no
explanation.
I'm going to guess a lot of people, if not the vast majority, in the Flat Earth community thought it was because you guys were number 1. I'm guessing you think the same thing, right?
I'm just saying they took down the scoreboard. I'm not saying anything else.
That's okay.
When Flat Earth hit number 1, they took down the scoreboard.
That's now when you say
then they had a congressional hearing about fake news, which was a meme that was going around, and the example in the congressional hearing that they used was they used Flat Earth. They said if somebody searches Flat Earth, what are you going to do? And they're like, well, we're going to put a Wikipedia link below the title to tell people that it's an archaic, old, debunked theory, which is untrue. But that's what they do. If you look at any Flat Earth video, underneath it is a Wikipedia thing saying it's an archaic, debunked theory, when in fact the globe is the debunked theory. I'm offering 3 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe, and nobody can take it. I have an app. It's called the Flat Earth.
Hold on. Where are you getting these Bitcoins, Dave? Shit, I didn't know there was I got like 40-something minutes to prove my point.
Well, I have an app. It's called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And basically every day there's a featured video on it. And I tell people, all you have to do is watch the video every day for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, if you think the Earth is a globe, send me 1 proof of the globe, just 1. And you win the 3 Bitcoins. But before you do, you have to hit the frequently asked questions button and make sure your question isn't already answered, which it most likely already is. Because you'll say, well, sunsets, seasons. And then you hit the seasons button or the sunset buttons or the tide buttons or the 24-hour sun in Antarctica button, and you'll see how you've been misled.
Now, okay, I want to go into a couple of topics, but the one thing, dude, I gotta admit, I'm with you on this one, possibly. I always find it strange that, so we got people going to, trying to go to Mars or whatever, and obviously, like, at least, are fake or not, going to the moon. I'm gonna guess you're gonna say fake. Fake. All right, fake it. All right, and all right, going into the ocean at least. Can we maybe?
Yeah, we'll go to the ocean.
All right, fair enough. But we definitely haven't, as people, we're very curious beings, have not, discovered. We've actually discovered not very little. I think we're up to like 30-40%, or at least that's what the scientists claim or whatever. I don't know if you believe in when I say the scientists. I don't know, the smart people. I always find it weird that we're doing all this shit, or at least claiming to do all this shit to the masses, whatever. But like, it feels like, it's like, dude, we have this insanely huge mass of ice and land in Antarctica, but we know very little about it. And it's like, well, it's treacherous. It's like, well, what the fuck is the moon and what's Mars? That's easy. But Antarctica, whoa, dude, you don't want to go to Gary's house. I know it's right around the block, but that shit's crazy. That's what I never understood as us. Why the fuck we don't like discover Antarctica. I don't know if maybe Hitler actually is there with his Nazi penguins. I have no idea.
Well, Antarctica is the shoreline of our world. What's beyond Antarctica? What if there is warmer lands beyond the shoreline of Antarctica? What if 1,000 miles
that'd be
over
nice.
there's another ocean?
Oh, that'd be great. Why wouldn't we want that, dude?
Well, what if there's other land out there? What would you call other land? Extra territory?
I call it
extra terra.
Free real estate.
All right. Well, if there's extra territory out there, that would be extra terra, extra land. So if somebody lived in that outer area beyond the shoreline of Antarctica and they came to visit here, what would you call them? Maybe an extraterrestrial from the outer space?
Yo, man, that's one of those past these blunt moments. You're making way too much sense right now. That's all right. All right. I like it. I like it. Dude, but all right. But why would they not want, like, what? If there's more land, and if you're telling me it's fucking tropical coastland, why the hell
There's a
are
map
we not?
that was found, a Japanese map that found that had 40 more continents on it. 40 more continents.
What? Hold on. Japanese map.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
You're going to have a hard time finding this. What you want to do is you want to get my app. Yes, it's $3. That's all it is. It's $3. It's the #1 rated app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. It's by Blue Water Bay, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And then hit the images button, and you'll see all of these things I'm talking about. Hit the video button. There's all sorts of stuff on there. There's an endless flow of information.
Like you said, I'm going to have a tough time finding it because Google takes off like the whole being able to see like what's the #1 topic being, looked at or whatever you're saying. But then tell me about how now I can't even just, from me and a lot of people's point of views, because the vast majority of us use Google. Like who the fuck's using Bing? So why the hell? What happened there? They took all this flat Earth stuff down. They just made it impossible.
Yeah, they figured that. So here's the thing. I was doing a conspiracy podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and we were looking into all of the shit that's going down. And people started sending me flat Earth stuff, and I was like, I wouldn't even look at it. I wouldn't watch a single thing. I was like, you're an idiot. I banned them from our social media for being so stupid to even suggest that I look into flat Earth. But then another researcher that I respect very much, he said to me, Dave, you got to look at this. He sent me a couple videos, and I watched them, and I said, And then YouTube recommended, here, watch this video. Here, watch this video. Here, watch this video. And they were all amazing new research. And for 2 weeks, I tried to disprove the flat Earth and prove the globe. And that's how you become a flat earther. Well, since then, now if you Google flat Earth, you get all nonsense. You can even Google the exact name of a good flat Earth video, and it won't show up.
What is it?
They'll feed you anything that has flat Earth in it.
Okay.
If you Google anything that says flat Earth, you get the same videos. You get Professor Dave, who's a paid shill, who strawmans us. He has the top 10 reasons the Earth is not flat, and they're all strawman arguments. Like, I could watch the sunset, then I can go to the top of this tower in Dubai and watch it set again.
He's
that
got
works
one of those
perfectly on a flat Earth.
Yeah, he's got one of those gay titles where it's like destroying flat Earth without using. It's like, why are we using that?
And he came out of nowhere. He got millions of subs. It's all nonsense, and you won't find my videos unless you know how to look for them. My YouTube channel is DITRH. It's the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. But what's going on now is the app has several 100,000 users on it, and people are showing it to other people every day, and people are anybody that gets the app becomes a flat earther. Even if you just go and read the reviews on the app, you end up becoming a flat earther because it shows you what's really going on. And here's the thing. You think the Earth is a globe, but you can't come up with a single proof, right? We play a game. We go out on the beach, on the random boardwalks. We say, hey, we got $200 if you can answer 3 questions about the globe. You ready? I'm going to ask you 3 questions about
that's
the globe.
what I want to do when I'm on the beach. Okay.
Well, we got $200. You have to answer 3 questions about the globe. They're really easy.
All right.
First question is, how many times does the Earth spin in one day?
Oh, are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
How many times is it's supposed to spin around the sun or just spin on its axis?
How many times does the Earth spin around its axis in a day.
Well, technically, it should just be one time, right? Am I wrong?
Is that your answer?
I don't. Dave, am I
Is
getting
that your answer?
Yeah, sure. Am I getting $200?
Okay,
bro?
you're right.
Thank you. All right, where's my
One
money?
down, two
What's
to
up?
go.
Oh, there's two. Fuck. Okay.
How fast does the Earth orbit around the sun?
Around the sun. I know I'm wrong on this, but I know it has something to do with kilometers. Isn't it like 1650 kilometers?
Nope, 66,600 miles an hour.
God damn! Oh,
How
maybe
far away is the sun?
Fucking, that it's far. It's very, I don't know, 23,000 light years? I don't fucking know.
93 million miles. So here's the thing.
God damn.
People that believe we live on a globe have no idea what the globe is. They have no idea the distances. Polaris, you know what Polaris is, right? Our North Star.
No.
Polaris is our North Star.
Okay.
Right? It's the star that doesn't move and it's only visible in the inner north.
Can I tell you one thing? All right, look, sidetrack. I'm sorry. I got ADHD, man. I think I do. I have been looking up into the sky since as much as I've been alive. I used to look into the sun because I thought it would make my eyes stronger. Now you kind of know what kind of human you're talking to. Anyways, I would look into the sky I'll look into the sky right. It's fucking dark out. Right? I'm looking right now, bro. I don't know which fucking star is the North Star, and it kills me every night that I don't know which one it is.
You know where the Big Dipper is?
But then there's a Little Dipper, and then I get confused.
You know where the Big Dipper is?
No.
All right. Well, so here's the thing. They don't teach you about learning these things.
Or taxes.
They might figure out where you are. Also, they don't teach you about taxes because you're not required to pay taxes. But they want you to believe that you are.
Oh, is that sovereign citizen shit?
No, not at all.
All right, no. All right, but
there's a $300,000 reward to find the line in the tax code that says that a normal person is responsible for paying federal income tax. Not in there.
Do you pay your federal income tax? I'm not trying to ask you this.
I'm telling you that it's not in there. That the only people required to pay taxes are corporations, if you are a corporation, or if you work for the federal government. That's it.
But isn't it? I thought the whole. God damn! All right, we're opening a lot of books now. I thought the people that got away with taxes are the people that they do incorporate themselves and they do LLC themselves. And then
no. That's a whole different thing. And it's not LLCing themselves. There's all different ways to twist it. But the bottom line is, why do you need to twist it when it doesn't exist? That's a whole nother rabbit hole. You could look in. There's lots of places to learn about that. Not from me. But,
okay. No, I like that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before I got sidetracked?
Jamie,
go ahead.
They don't in school. They don't teach us anything important. They don't teach us
I agree with you
anything
on that.
that'll make us challenge the authority that we believe they have over us. They don't teach us who we are, where we are. They don't teach us the power of our thoughts. They don't want us to know that astrology is the real science. Astronomy is pseudoscience.
Now, why, when did they start, and who's they? You know what I mean? Those three questions right off the bat.
Well, you have the Council of Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg Group, the Club of Rome. These are all of the organizations, the United Nations that are run by these elite families that rule the world. But in truth, they are just the puppets for the real controllers that we don't know who they are. They probably live in the lands beyond Antarctica. There's many stories of explorers in the not that long ago, maybe 100 years ago. Going beyond Antarctica and finding these lands. This whole globe lie is less than 100 years old. It's not 2,000 years old with Aristophanes and his sticks and shadows. That's a made-up story.
Damn, it's only so why did they choose a globe 1,000 years ago?
No, they didn't. This is less than 100 years old.
Or I'm sorry, 100
Everyone
years ago.
knew the Earth was flat. I interviewed a woman named Ruth, 102 years old, back in February 2020, and she was taught that the Earth was flat in the 1920s. That's all they taught. The globe wasn't even a question. And then we also found that they were teaching flat Earth and globe Earth all the way up into the 1960s. Okay? Then all of a sudden, the Rockefellers took over the education system, removed flat Earth like it never existed, and basically are responsible for the curriculum of all of the schools, which I call the indoctrination camps. They're all nonsense.
But couldn't that just because answers change after time and we find out more information?
One proof of the globe. If we lived on a globe, there would have to be a physical horizon.
No, I'm not saying a proof of the globe. I'm just saying we believe in something and then we find an answer that goes, oh shit, that kind of shatters that belief, and now we believe in something else. That exists.
What I'm saying is there's nothing that would make you believe in the globe. There's absolutely nothing. And there's absolute proof that we don't live on a globe. Like a ball, if we lived on a ball, the horizon would be a physical place that you can't see beyond. Okay? On a ball, tell us that our ball is 24,901 miles around. That would mean a 6-foot-tall person standing at the edge of calm water should have a physical water horizon at just 3 miles away, where the drop is 6 feet. But we can take our super zoom lenses and we can see out for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles beyond where we should be able to see if it was a ball. The horizon is optical. And that goes with flat Earth. If you're flying in an airplane and you look out the left window and the right window, you'll see that the horizon is right at your eye level. If you drew a line from both horizons, they cross right in front of your eyes. Well, that's impossible on a ball, because at 35,000 feet, the horizon would be 78,000 feet below you. But it's not. It's right there at high level. But now,
all right, and I'm confused, and I think I'm allowed to be confused, right? I went to. Listen, I'm not a big fan of public schools either. I think it's all it's insane. I don't care about your kids. Don't take my money. Why the fuck am I paying for your kids' education? All right. So, for 12 plus years, I learned, about the Earth being a globe every now and then in between the Holocaust.
First thing you learned in school. It's the first thing you learned in school.
We were finger painting before the Earth being a globe, but I get what you're saying. We learned it really young. But yeah, the Earth's a globe, and why they said all these things to me? Why shouldn't I believe it? You know what I mean?
I know you look at authority as the rulers. We got Bill Nye, the lying guy with the bow tie. He's a failed comedian. You have Neil deGrasse Tyson, the failed actor. He's the other authority. He won't talk to us. He'll make video after video after video strawmanning us and saying stuff that just not true about flat Earth, and claiming that we believe
real
that.
Quick to cut you real quick. I do think that's lame. That I'll say this, man, and I understand the very easy defense would be like, well, why talk to them anyway? It is lame that you would just because there are I see them pop up because the YouTube algorithm or whatever of just not Bill Nye but Tyson, just making a joke or bashing flat Earth and everything. It's like, dude, how about you have a fucking 1 hour? And don't pick the guy that you're going to be like, I'm going to fucking destroy the. Have an hour debate with someone if you're going to just keep fucking basically fucking his wife over a coffee table,
He won't. He won't do it.
That is lame. I do think that's lame.
We'd destroy him.
Well, I don't.
There's not a using that word now proof of the globe. No, but here's the thing.
It's just a funny word.
There's not a single proof of the globe. There's not a single proof of the globe. There's plenty of proof that it's not a globe.
But here's the thing again. They told me this. Whoever they is, whatever.
They also told you we went to the moon. They also told you that you need government or there'd be chaos.
But shouldn't I believe what people are saying to me when they have?
They also told you that dinosaur juice comes out of the ground, and that's what we're running our cars on from dinosaurs. They also told you that dinosaurs exist. They also told you that nuclear bombs exist. They also told you that we're overpopulated when every family in America could live in Texas and have a half an acre. Okay. They also told you they told you that we're at the peak of intelligence when in fact there was an advanced civilization here in the 1800s, far more advanced than we are now. Okay. They've rewritten history. They didn't tell you about the mud floods. They didn't tell you about the reset in the late 1800s. They told you about the Wild West when none of that is true.
Yeah, but why is their version of the truth they're trying to paint for me? Why can't I believe it?
Because there's no evidence of it, and there's plenty of evidence that disproves it. You go look at the buildings, these incredible steeples and buildings that were supposedly built in the 1800s when we had horse and buggies, and we can't even move them now. Just recently, I forget where it was, somewhere somewhere in America, they were moving an obelisk. And not even that big of one.
Am I supposed to know what an obelisk is?
An obelisk is a
what?
It's like a street. It's like the Washington
Can I
Monument.
look that up on Google? Will that pop
the
up?
Washington Monument is an obelisk. It's a straight up pillar.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
A straight up pillar. And this wasn't even that big of one. They brought in a big crane, and it couldn't lift it. The crane was tipping over. So they brought in 3 cranes. They had the drill holes, and they run rebar through it. And they finally were able to move it with 3 modern cranes. But the story of this obelisk is that it was built in Egypt. Or I think it was Egypt. It was carried on a boat, brought over to the city. Maybe it was in Philadelphia. And then it was erected back in the late 1800s when we had no cranes, no gas-powered anything, and then we could barely move it today. It's all complete and total bullshit. We live literally in the middle of the movie Idiocracy right now.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. I think people overrate that movie a little too much. I like the idea and the premise, though. The movie's great, so I do like the movie. But now, I want to get a little in more depth with you. But one other question about they and telling me and all these things. What's it called? Just what about say scientists or people that study geology or whatever the fucking right course would be when they give their answers to prove that the Earth is a globe? Because I know you're saying there is.
They don't give any answers. They don't.
So what do they? What do they say?
They go, well, we carbon dated this thing. Well, carbon dating is complete and total nonsense. Okay,
why? Wait, why though?
I'll tell you why. So they found these. What did they do? It was supposed dinosaur bones, a dinosaur bone, and they sent it to a lab without telling them what it was. And they said that it was just like a couple thousand years old. And they're like, well, this is from a dinosaur. And they're like, well, you can never send anything here again, and you're banned from this lab. And it's carbon dating is complete and total fiction. Okay, yeah, you can tell something is 10 years old, 20 years old, 50 years old, maybe even 100 years old, but that's it.
Okay, you ever listen to Pink Floyd a little bit, Dave?
I love Pink Floyd.
I love Pink Floyd. You ever the song "The Machine"?
Absolutely.
One of the best. And like, is that kind of what we are? Basically, we're just like cogs in the machine at this point.
That's right.
I find it's a great song.
You don't need no education. No, they're just literally stamping out clones.
Roger Waters is one of the most. He might be one of the most. No, he is one of the most talented, like just artists of all time.
I can't think of the top of my head, but a few of their songs are about flat Earth.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's probably on the Dark Side of the Moon album. I mean, the album's literally. Was it premise or whatever?
The whole Dark Side of the Moon, in the heliocentric model, there is no dark side of the moon. There is the front of the moon and the back of the moon, and they're lit half the time.
Now, I want to know a little bit more about your background because so you believed at one point the Earth was a globe and everything. Describe
Absolutely.
to me, that point, how old you were, and like that point of transitioning to believing the Earth is flat. And going into
that
process.
Not about believing. I used to believe the Earth is a globe because that's what I was told, but I was never shown any proof. I was just told that my whole life, so my whole foundation was built around that. Everything. Globes are everywhere. Globes are in every movie, in every classroom. The first worksheet you bring home from school is the orbits of the sun, moon, and the planets. And it's all about indoctrination. Before you're 7 years old, you have so much globe programming that it's very difficult to get rid of it. I took 4 years of astronomy in college, 4 years of astronomy, and I was really good at it. I knew all the bullshit. I knew all the numbers. I knew everything, right? But when you actually try to prove anything, it's all just math. It's all just, nonsense. Then, in 2015, during my podcast, people started saying, you got to look into flat Earth. And when I started looking into it, it's the first time I ever tried to hold any of my beliefs to the fire, hold them, to the evidence. Like, here, what's your number one proof the Earth is a globe? What's your number one thing that makes you think the Earth is a globe? Have one?
Who, me?
Spoiler alert, you don't.
I don't know. My number one belief. I don't know. I don't care. Remember, I don't care.
So here's the thing. You don't care. You ever see, is it called The Allegory of the Cave? About these people that live in a cave their whole life, and from behind them there was a projector projecting shadow figures on the wall, and that was their whole life. They didn't care because that's their life. What else could there be?
True.
Imagine if you lived in an apartment building that was 20 miles wide by 20 miles wide by 300 stories high. Big, giant apartment building. And you lived in there. And in the middle, you have your gym, you got your grocery store, you got your job, you got, all sorts of stuff, concert arenas. It's huge. It's massive. And you live in there. But whenever you try to go towards the outside of the building, when you were half a mile from the outside, you're not allowed to go there. The Antarctic Treaty says no, you can't.
I'd go nuts. I'd be like
no,
this.
You wouldn't because that's all you know. That's all you know.
No. Well, yes and no. I get what you're saying because you're relating it to what's happening now based off.
My point is, you can live in there and say, well, I go, hey man, Jamie, there's more outside. No, stop it. I don't believe it. Why would they hide us? Why would they lie? Because they're keeping you in control. They're having you be a worker slave. They're using your energy to manifest the world that they want. They're using your soul to create the world that they want, when in fact it's yours, and you can create the world that you want, right? So when you say, I don't care, that's exactly what they want. They want you not caring. They want you not knowing that caring is the most important thing.
I get what you're saying, but I want to go a little bit back. So a bunch of people were telling you to look into flat Earth, and you started. But like, what did you read? Can you tell me some detailed stuff, like what you read, the science stuff that you did? Maybe if you did some experiments,
shit. I started looking and said, all right, well, if the Earth is I looked up the curvature calculator, the globe Earth calculator, and I found out that the formula for Earth, and you'll just short circuit here with this easy math formula, 8 inches per mile squared. Okay. Every time you go another mile, you square the miles, and that's how much the drop is. So 1 mile is 8 inches. At 2 miles, 2 times 2 is 4, times 8 is 32 inches. And at 3 miles, there's 6 feet drop, according to globe math. That's the globe math. I'm like, okay, well, I live here on Long Island Sound. I can look across from the water's edge. I can look across at a beach 7 miles away and see the sand on the beach. I'm like, wait a minute, 7 miles away, there should be a ton of curvature. But I can look out there and I could see it. So then I started watching all these videos of boats that appeared to go over the horizon. But then when you zoom in on them, there they are again, right? 7 times 7 times 8 divided by 12 equals 32 feet of curvature. So at 7 miles, there should be 32 feet of curvature. But I can see people standing on the beach 7 miles away. Where's the curvature? There is no curvature.
Where's the beef?
Yeah, where's the curvature? There is none. There's no curvature.
But now,
so no curvature, no ball.
I get what you're saying. I did myself a favor. So I looked up the lyrics to Welcome to the Machine, or I think it's called The Machine. No, Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd. And a couple of them blend into each other, but one set of lyrics is, and you didn't like school, and you know you're nobody's fool, so welcome to the machine. When you hear that line, what do you think about that line?
Yeah, they're just telling you what's going on. Pink Floyd was part of the programming of the world, along with the Beatles and all of these other groups that came out of. There was one place they came. Well, they all came out of. They're all like CIA run. Once you start getting into that, it's the Laurel Canyon. That's where the Doors came out of, and these are all to program the minds, program our minds. They changed our music frequency from 432 to 440. 432 is the harmonious frequency that our bodies run on. 440 actually makes you sick. Okay, it's a discord frequency for your body, but they don't teach you about frequency in school. They don't teach you about sacred geometry. They teach you accounting so you can be a good accountant. Okay, they don't teach you about vortex mathematics. They teach you about geometry. Right? They don't teach you sacred geometry. All the stuff they teach you in school is to make you a good little worker slave and make you never challenge the people that are ruling over you. That's all it is.
Gotcha. So basically, like right now, you're shitting on schools, which I get because we were shitting on schools early, and I think the public school system is fucking insanely retarded. But that's again though.
If you memorize and regurgitate all of the information in the Rockefeller funded textbooks, guess what? You get to become the teacher to teach the same shit to the next generation.
But that's why I'll read the line again though. And you didn't like school, and you know you're nobody's fool, So welcome to the machine. I don't know if kind of you get what I'm trying to nudge at, but basically, you don't like the school systems. You know you're no one's fool. So just like me, you're Dave. You're part of the machine. You're exactly what they want. They want people like you. They want people to believe in this shit. They want.
It's not about believing. Belief is the enemy of knowing.
They
you
want
believe you live on a globe.
What I'm saying is
fact,
you're just as part of the machine as I am. Your cog might be in a different part of the machine, but they're WD-40ing that thing just as much as mine, and they want it to keep turning.
I don't see it that way. They don't want people like me. They don't want people waking up people to the reality, because when they wake up to the reality, they literally unplug from the matrix.
I think they love this. I think they exactly want this because it creates content like this, and it creates back and forths. And then while we're all fucking fighting in the trenches, they're just up there somewhere going, "Oh yeah, look at them. Let's give them more weird ideas to fight over." Like it's already like beat. Like they already won the war. They're just having fun with us at this point. Do you get what I mean?
Actually, I disagree. There's a huge intelligence test going on right now, and most of the world is failing, but many of us have figured it out, and we're not failing, and we're not falling for it, and we're not going with it, and we're not feeding our energy to them.
But you're taking tests that who is the real creator of the test? You're basing off the Earth being flat based off sciences and everything that you believe. Like no, it makes no sense.
Here's the thing: I can show you proof that we don't live on the globe. Hold on. I can show you proof.
Okay.
Actual, physical, undeniable evidence that we don't live on a ball. You believe we live on a ball, but can't give me one.
But what I'm saying is, that's all based off. We're talking, right, with English, right? Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why are we using English?
It's the language they gave us.
They gave us exactly.
It's a weapon. I'm with you.
Well, that's the thing.
That's why I don't.
And you're learning all this evidence with that language.
No. I use the language very carefully. Like when you see somebody first thing of the day, what do you say to them?
I probably just put my head down and keep walking. All right, I'll say hello. All right, jeez.
Yeah, well, hello and good morning are not good things to say.
Why?
Okay. Good morning means death, good death. And hell is the word hell. Hello. You can say hi. You can say good day. But good morning is a weapon.
Now, before this gets any more like intense, I just want to let you know. I'm not saying I believe a lot of the stuff that's coming out. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate right now. Is that okay with you? Or are you?
Fine.
Okay. I don't want to get it too hot and heavy in here. There's no. Yeah.
We've got about 10 minutes left. So play it any way you like.
Well, what I'm just saying is, I think my main aspect of the world around me, and I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm an idiot. But as long as someone doesn't have their head up their ass, like they're cool in my book. So I do think that a lot of people walking around, yourself included, we're just cogs in the machine, my man. Like to be like, no, like. The Earth is flat. It's like based off. Again, you were talking about the sciences and everything, but how did you
like the
learn?
Movie The Matrix?
Yes, I saw the first one just around a year ago. It's okay. It's all right.
Well, it's
a good movie.
It's what's going on in the world right now. People have their brains plugged into the mind matrix.
How do I know that though?
Well, they have your brain plugged into that you believe you live on a spinning ball flying through an infinite universe. That you're lost in space and nothing exploded, created everything. All of this absolute nonsense. And when you wake up to the reality that we don't live on a spinning ball, that the Earth is intelligent.
But now, how do I know that you're not one of the ones that are trying to control me? How do I know that?
Because you have to use your own brain and test it out yourself. I always tell people, don't believe anything I say. I'm going to point to a whole bunch of doors.
What tools do I use to test it out
yourself?
What are the items, the technologies that what's out there?
The first thing I did is I bought a $1,000 camera and I super zoom camera. And
from who?
I bought it from a camera store.
You trust the camera store? Well, you out of your fucking mind? You don't know who runs that camera store, bro.
Jamie.
What? I'm being honest.
Jamie. I can see too far. There is no curvature. That's strike one.
That's
for the
based
globe.
off the camera store's cameras sold to you. First off, they made
Jamie, now you're being stupid. We're going to end this really quick if you're going down that road. You're not making any sense. I'm telling you that I can take a camera, I can take a telescope, I can zoom in on things that should be hidden by the curve. I thought you said you were cool having this conversation. Come on, man. I'm having a conversation, but you're not making any sense. You're going, oh, somebody evil made the camera and it's doing a trick. Now, what are you saying? That the camera is bending around the curve of the earth and making me think it's flat?
Well, because
you're saying
you're trusting
that's absolute
you're trusting
insanity.
science that was taught to you.
No, I'm trusting. They say the Earth is a globe. If it's a globe, there has to be curvature. There is no curvature. We've done laser tests. We've done microwave tests. We've done sonar tests. We've done all sorts of stuff. We've traveled the whole world doing these tests, and every single one of them disproves the globe.
Also, to be fair, we're talking about how the whole human population is being tricked right now, or the vast majority, about the world being a globe. I don't think it's too far fetched to believe that we can just have a couple camera stores sell people some faulty equipment.
Faulty equipment? How? So explain to me how I see people on a beach 7 miles away with faulty equipment.
Dude, they might know who you are, and every time they're tracking you, and every time you go to a camera store, they maybe just give him the fucking bullshit camera so he keeps thinking the Earth is flat.
So answer me. So they give me a bullshit camera. How do I see people on a beach 7 miles away?
Because they gave you a bullshit camera.
And what does it do? How does it make me see people 7 miles away that should be below the curve?
I don't know the sciences behind it.
So you're making up.
I'm not making up. I'm putting out a scenario.
Jamie.
Okay.
Your last name's Dullard.
Yes.
Don't be a dullard.
Well,
okay?
I am though.
Don't be a dullard.
This. Come on.
I know you're saying it, but saying they're giving me a trick camera that's letting me see things that should be below the curve, that's ridiculous.
But saying they tricked the entire human population to say the world's a globe, that one's more believable than a couple of cameras.
It's not about belief. Again, belief is the enemy of knowing. Yeah, I can show you that we can see too far. So that's one for, all right, it's not a globe. Now give me one for it is a globe. You don't have one.
I don't think that's enough evidence to prove that the Earth is not a globe. I really think, dude, first off,
you know about the Sagnac experiment? Do you know about the Aries failure? Do you know about the Bedford Level experiment? These are experiments that went to prove that there's curvature or prove that the Earth is moving, and every single one of them have failed. Okay? Every single one of them proved the opposite. So they don't teach you about these scientific experiments done by noted scientists that actually prove that we're not moving, that there is no axial rotation, right? If you actually look at do you know about the angular resolution limits of your eyes? Do you even know what that means?
No. Do you think I know what that means? Come on. Yeah, explain that. I'm definitely down to learn.
So let me, I'll explain.
All right.
So if I held a penny 10 feet in front of you, could you see it?
If I held a penny, of course I could see it. Yeah, 10 feet. Yeah,
right. What if I held it 10 miles away from you? Could you see it?
Ooh, that'd be hard. I don't know.
Absolutely not. Its angular size, I think at 200 yards, is too small for the human eye to resolve. It's too small.
All right.
So they tell us that the sun, if we had a scale model, you know those big yoga balls?
I remember, like, what's it called?
Let me make my point.
Oh, go ahead.
So if the sun is one of those big yoga balls, the Earth is like a BB next to it, right?
Yes.
Like a marble.
Yeah.
Marble.
Yeah. I remember.
Okay. So if the sun was just a mile above the Earth, it would fill the entire sky. If you were standing underneath it looking around, it would fill the entire sky, right?
Okay.
And I move it 93 million miles away. It's now the size of a coin held at arm's length. You agree? And just like we see it. It's a small circle in the sky about the size of a nickel held at arm's length. You with me?
Yes.
Why did it get smaller?
No clue.
Perspective. The farther things go away, the smaller they get.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So 93 million miles away is 8 light minutes. You know what a light minute is, or a light hour?
I've heard of light years, but I've heard
light year is the distance light travels in a year. A light hour is the distance light travels in an hour.
Oh, okay. So
and 93 million miles is 8 light minutes away, theoretically. Okay?
I get. Okay.
So at 8 light minutes away, the sun reduces from filling the entire sky to the size of a coin held at arm's length. If I doubled the distance of the sun, its angular size now is too small to see. Let's just be safe. Let's make it 24 times farther. It is scientifically provable that your eye could not see the sun because its angular size, excluding how dim it would be, that's a whole nother thing, is too small by magnitudes. Well, 24 times 8 minutes is 3 light hours. So at 3 light hours, it's scientifically provable that you can't see the sun. Now, Polaris, which you didn't know what it was, it's our North Star. They tell us it's 48 times bigger than our sun. So 48 times 3 light hours is 6 light days. So Polaris, at the size that they tell us, at 6 light days away, is provably, scientifically provable that the human eye could not see it. These aren't arguable things. These are actual thinking through, using the math, and saying, okay, so at 6 light days away, Polaris is unviewable. But they tell us Polaris is 433 light years away, and we could all see it with our naked eye. Right there, that tells us they're lying. That's not a theory. Okay. That's not a belief. Mm-hmm. That's science. That's actual science, but they won't address it, right? So all of the things that we see in the sky are here within the Earth system.
Now, can I ask something, though, based off that?
Sure.
Because you kept saying scientifically proven, that's science. And why? Who told you that those methods are correct?
If you have a ruler and you measured a nickel and it said it was a half inch, whatever, is that science?
I don't know what that is, but who told me that?
Science. It's
who told me
physical,
that's a half inch? Like, why?
Yeah, you can touch
why
it.
Is that a half inch? Why is that a something? You know what I mean, or whatever? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, I get what you're saying, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
No, I am understanding. I'm just saying to prove something. It's like it's kind of.
Jamie, if I was 5 feet from you and then I moved 10 feet away,
yeah,
am I double the distance?
I could just be like, well, what is distance? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so that we're not getting anywhere. What I'm saying is using their science, using their.
But that's the thing. You're using their. You just said it. You're using their science. The people that you're saying are trying to control everyone.
Jamie,
you're saying that you're using their. Why would you use their science if they're trying to trick all of us?
Jamie.
Yeah,
we can prove ourselves the angular resolution limits of our eyes, which is 0.02 degrees.
But can I ask one question, proven. Dave? Can I ask one question?
As long as it's not a dumb question.
Well, it's guaranteed going to be a dumb question. You know this. But honestly, why? How could people that are so elaborate to make around 7+ billion people believe that the Earth is a globe? Why would they have so many holes in the science that they provide us?
Because they can't prove something that's not real.
So then why would they have used that? Why would they have started with that then? If it's like, why would they be like, hey, let's use the globe?
It's a pretty good lie, but they can't cover their tracks. And here's the thing. They've dumbed us all down so nobody, like you, will question it. Nobody will understand the science. Absolutely.
That's not cool. Really, dude, that's not cool. But all right, fine. I don't even care. But Dave, you're awesome. I seriously, this is a fun talk. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that say that the Earth is flat. It's like they were the ones to be like, you know what? I'm smart enough to get through this. I know exactly what I'm going to get. It's like, what? That just doesn't. What?
There's plenty of people that know the Earth is flat, and it's new. It's new since the 1950s. Okay, people you don't understand how recent the lie is, and people are dumbed down. They're fluoridated.
I'm not saying I disbelieve you on that, bro. I'm not.
They're poisoned with vaccines. They're dumbed down where they're unable to think.
Dave,
that's how they get away with it.
I am not saying that the vast majority of people in this world are dumbed down. I believe you on that. I'm with you. It's just when someone is saying this is a guaranteed fact, and then they're also saying, well, I'm using the sciences, the science that was told.
No. Science is universal. Actual science
where did you learn
universal.
That? Where did you learn that? Who said that?
Actual science, not made up nonsense.
The fuck is actual science?
Here's science. If I had a weight and we said it's 5 pounds or 500 pounds, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. If I had 2 identical ones, that would be twice the weight.
All right,
that's science.
You're 100% right, because we're going to go back in circles, and I feel bad, but whatever. Is there any last thing you want to say about this? Because by the way, I understand you're saying like me and all that, dude. I like having this conversation with you, and I'm not saying you're you're wrong. I'm not going to say that. I'm just listening to what you're saying. And I also think
I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
My final statement is belief is the enemy of knowing. You can believe whatever you want. It's easy. You believe whatever you want to believe. You know, if I told you I lived in Connecticut, you can believe it, or you can know it by actually doing the research. Okay? So belief is the enemy of knowing. People believe we live on a ball. They don't have any proof. When you actually look into it, you find out that the ball is impossible and that the earth is a level stationary plane. So, and then people say, well, what difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference. Well, all of the people that wake up to flat earth find a huge difference in their lives. Their lives change dramatically. My life has changed for the better in more ways than I could ever tell you. So, what does it matter? It matters so much. Not knowing who you are, where you are, what you are, the power of your mind, that matters. That matters so much. And the evil people that are running this world rely on you being lazy and stupid. Not you, everybody.
No, I get you on that one. One last thing then, actually, with knowing the earth is flat and everything, like, do you feel like you're more at peace, you're more open and happy with all this stuff?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. 100%. Watch some of my interviews. You can find me. The best place to find my interviews is flatearthdave.com. All the links are there. The app has all my interviews on it, all sorts of stuff. And what I say is challenge yourself. Check this out, because once you find out that we don't live on a spinning ball and you find out the true power that you have, life changes for the better. I mean, I had the American dream. I had my own company, making tons of money. I walked away from it all, and life is so much better now.
Hey, man, that's right there, man. That is the coolest bow to put on this. Dave, thanks for coming on, man. And I'll email you when this episode's being like uploaded. And don't worry, when it comes out, I'll send you all the links and shit.
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah, sure thing. Have a good one, man.
All right, see you.